Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series, and welcome to 2018. God, if that's not depressing, I don't know what is. We're a year older, we're a year fatter, especially after Christmas. But you know what isn't depressing? Massive mechanical mayhem on a global scale that'll be going down on Setton's clutch, but not in custom 4v4 fashion. It's pro-level ladder action, because of course no one wants to see average Joes battling it out in ladder on Settons. Why? Well, none of us have 10 hours to spare, quite frankly, so we're not going to do that today. It will be pro, so a little bit different. I know I did say I was going to bring you some action, hopefully, from the end of year tourney, the World Championships of FAF that went down around Christmas time. And I do still hope to bring you at least the final of that. The replays are up on the forum thread, incidentally, if you want to go check them out. But the reason I'm not doing it yet is because I know Brink is sequentially releasing casts for across the tourney. He's got a couple up at the moment. And it was him, an architect, who casted it. Taquito hosted it. I don't want to tread on anyone's toes, and I haven't cleared it with them yet. So I'm going to do all that first of all, make sure everybody's happy before I go and yoink some replays. We'll probably have a number of casters doing it. It's always good for a different point of view anyway. But yes, well, in the meantime, guys, go check out Brink stuff. Go check out those casts that are rolling in after you watch this, of course. Don't leave now. You stay here and watch this, because I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. That's right, it's over to Setton's clutch. Kaboom! Exciting stuff. You don't often see this in ladder. I think the last time I actually saw this in a 1v1 in a cast was actually I'm trying to think. It would probably have been not the Imber Cup, but Rise of the Immortals Trophy. We're going back a good 3 or 4 years there. But anyway, you can see conversation already going down, saying don't disconnect, don't do it. Anyway, let's take a look at our players while they're having a chat. Up here at the top in the blue corner, going UEF, it's Turinturambar. There he is, going first land. And what's he going there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 P-gens opening. Oh, he's just going to go ahead and cancel that straight on the mechs. Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. Let's see who's in the red corner before he changes his mind again. In the red corner, it's fTjlARsEmE. And fTjlARsEmE is also going UEF, opening first land. And he also goes by another name. That's fTjlARsEmE. And I'm not going to be calling him fTjlARsEmE, because that's a terrible name. And please, guys, why are you doing it to me? Apparently, Exotic Retard tells me this is ComClan. They're all doing this at the moment. They're just crazy, nonsensical names. I mean, I can see there's arse in there, and then there's me at the end. I don't know what fTjl means, if anything at all. But guys, you know, seriously, I preferred it when you were all called Dave. Go back to Dave if you're going to keep doing that. Dave 1, I can handle that. Okay? But anyway, there's Farms. Also going UEF, so it's a UEF mirror matchup, and opening first land, going second air. I've no idea what he did in terms of P-gens. I mean, so you've got 4 P-gens there, and 1 NG going off, picking up the other core mechs. There should be Hydro nearby. Down there it's queued up, but no great rush to run over to that. It's a little far away on Settons. And, well, yeah, there you have it. That's basically it. Expect this one to take a little while to escalate into full-on combat, purely because, well, you've got that long old causeway. I'm actually wondering with the meta on this, will there be the same level of rush? Well, there won't be the same level of rush towards the mass in the center, because these guys would have gone a long time ago. Typically, on a 4v4, you're throwing down that first factory, and then it's like, leg it! Leg it! Engineers can do everything else. I need to get the mass for my team. And you can see that that clearly isn't happening already. RIP trees. Yes, because Snoops do a huge amount of damage to trees. I thought that was an engineer when I first read it. But anyway, a Mech Marine and a Snoop coming down here looking for some easy prey, and they're going to run into their doppelgangers from an alternative universe. God, that reminds me of the latest Star Trek Discovery episode. That was crazy. Anybody else watching Star Trek Discovery right now? Jesus. 37 minutes in, episode 10, that's all I'm going to say. Oh my god. There's a whole bunch of people who are going to be like, Trek, what are you talking about? Get back to Sopcom, but I just had to put that in there because that really messed with my mind. But anyway, Looks like it's lab on lab. And, wow, Farms will have the better of that exchange. That lab there surviving with just 8 hit points, but the Snoop surviving unscathed, so he keeps intel in that area of the field. He's also got an early bomber out, which is making a beeline for this engineer here. Hasn't got the scout lead on it. Will he turn around and go for that, or is he going to assault the base? Well, there's the scout, and he is indeed going to go and try to take that NG out. The NG at least completes the mech, so he'll be happy about that, but he won't complete anything else. Except if he's recycled and turned into something more useful. Meanwhile, airdrop out there for Farms, heading towards the cliffs. That's a nice little bomb. Picks up 1 kill. A little unlucky there, he didn't get more. The other 2 partially damaged in the explosion. Second bombing run will get the trick done, though. Very nice indeed from Turinturambar there. 4 kills to that bomber, definitely paying for itself, helping to hamper the efforts. And Farms has power locked himself quite badly. You can see mass dropping down to just 7 per tick there with the energy problems he was having, but he seems to have restored it now. That's why he was yelling for energy in local chat. Not going to get a huge amount of response from his opponent there. I don't even know if you can transfer energy to your opponent. It's not something I've ever tried. Why would you? But NG's moving towards the middle now. 1 for Farms grabbing the mass. And it really is, with the sheer number of mechs available to you in a ladder match, energy is going to be very difficult to keep up with in eco balance. You can see Farms moving across now to his cliffs with a couple of engineers on board. So many potential mechs to choose from. Which is another reason why skirmishing on this is going to, you would imagine, take a while to kick off. Farms up front, hoovering up some of those wrecks now. And where's he going? Well, he's about half full on his mass bar so far. And Turinturambar's way back here, and he's pretty much half full on his. He's not even in a position to reclaim any of the mass in the center yet. Really illustrates just what an unusual dynamic we have here compared to most. A little airdrop right to the back, so Turinturambar securing rear mass points ASAP. Wants to get a little base set up there in well, what is arguably the safest point on the map for the time being, as far away from Farms as possible. Farms throwing down a naval yard in the top pond, first one to do so anywhere on the map, I believe. Yeah, so first vessels likely to be on the red side of things. It's a lot of mass that Turinturambar is yielding here. You sort of feel, I wonder if it wouldn't be a bad play just to build a whole load of mass storage out here, make a run for the center and scoop it while you can. Get another group of NGs just building crazy amounts of T1 P-gens. Any pros watching, tell me if that's a stupid idea or not. It probably is. You see Turinturambar on the move at the other end of the causeway now, slowly advancing towards the middle. I think the destroyers might be gone by the time he gets there. He'll certainly be able to get some of these, though. It depends whether he starts reclaiming the earlier wrecks or whether he marches straight to the middle. Is he actually feeding off rocks there? Looks like it. He's also got some engineers in tow as well. Now Turinturambar saying he's having problems with his energy. There we go. Power locked. Farms, where are you at, my friend? Well, he's just about keeping up with things. Not particularly well. Struggling. Turinturambar, good 10 mass advantage, but right now it's power that's in short supply for these guys. And Farms scooping up the second wreck, the second destroyer, which is on Turinturambar's side of things. He got the middle one straight away. A lot of chatter going on in the middle here. This is what the pros like to do when hostilities don't kick off immediately. But now they have, and it's between the two comms exchanging fire, both with lots and lots of T1 in tow. It's 11 Lobos on the page there for Turinturambar, 31 strikers, 9 scouts. That seems like quite a high unit comp there. Compare that to the 31 strikers for farms, and I'm not seeing any Lobos in the mix at all, no artillery at all, and in fact farms up front ahead of his troops are getting prioritised here by the spam that's coming in for Turinturambar. He's already down to around 60% of base health, dropping towards the 50 mark. Turinturambar conversely looking very healthy indeed. He's just focusing on swatting down as many of those T1 tanks, as he can. The PD that was put up front for Turinturambar has been taken down by Farms, but Farms getting a bad exchange there and losing a lot of his base health. He's having to back up, and he's eating some Lobo shells on the way out as well, so he's not out of danger yet. Hangs a right turn and then a Louis to get himself back towards the centre of the causeway and avoid as much of that incoming artillery fire as possible. Again, Turinturambar advances. Farms not happy about it at all, turning out to be a relatively salty match already, which we're more and more used to here on FAF as the sportsmanship falls more and more by the wayside. That's a pretty comprehensive push from Turinturambar now. Farms down to just under 4,000 hit points. His forward land factory now under pressure here, and he's still losing lots of units. Turinturambar looking very healthy indeed. We do have a pillar on the field now though, so Tech 2 moving forward for Farms. T1 bomber in overhead as well, but there are archers in the mix. It gets one bomb away before it gets shot down. But in comes a Janus, so it's not just T2 ground. Farms is putting out its T2 air as well. Will they get a second pass? There's quite a lot of archers in there. Wow. Down to 16 hit points. Lots of T1 emplacements queued up. He gets one napalm bomb, literally one away, before getting shot down. Lots and lots of emplacements queued up on the causeway now, though. It looks like Turinturambar keen to hold on to the territory he has gained. And we saw those naval yards being thrown together earlier. We're seeing 3 T1 frigates moving up towards Turinturambar's side of things. Don't have a huge amount of reach. Might be able to put some fire down on some of the T1 tanks as they advance up towards the causeway. Of course, if they push further on down, they could probably take out that naval yard that Turinturambar has got in the top pond at the other end of things as well. Quite a lot of engineers around there. Wouldn't be a bad play. Let's take a look at Eco. Well, these guys get their act together. 116 for fTjlARsEmE, 123 for Turinturambar. But fTjlARsEmE ahead on total eco so far. Total mass accrued 42 to 39. And it's 1.8 on power to 1.7. Power still arguably the more useful resource right now because just the sheer number of mexes that are available. Farms getting an upgrade on his commander. Already has a nano upgrade. Busy repairing the hit points on the commander. Is he having some power issues though? Things seem to be taking a long time there. Just about on the breadline there. Turinturambar starts a T2 upgrade on his comm and immediately has to cancel it as it pops up in range of that triad on the front line of Farms there. Farms completes his gun upgrade on his comm. It's already looking healthier now. He's got a power shield as well. This could be the start of a beautiful counter-attack by Farms. And he's picked a good time for it. He advances now. Turinturambar anchored to the spot. 38% done on an upgrade. It's moving quickly though. 55% done, and he's got a lot of assistance. How bold will Farms be? Well, it doesn't look like he's going to be that bold. 75% done. That's going to get done. No problems there. And he goes straight for a second upgrade as well. That might have to get cancelled. Got a lot of engineers assisting him. Farms desperate to get this cancelled. Will he bite off more than he can chew is the question. Back into the yellow. Remember, he's got that nano upgrade now. In comes the parashield to block some of that incoming fire. Turinturambar completes that gun upgrade and starts T3. Very ambitious indeed, but then he cancels it. Sensible decision. There are a lot of pillars in here for fTjlAR. And surely Turinturambar's going to have to back up now. You can see there's vessels on the coastline there as well. Turinturambar potentially in a very sticky situation indeed. Lots of T2 units rolling forward now. Turinturambar with about 60-65% of its health left, dropping down towards the 50 mark at about 7.5k, throwing out overcharges when he can. In fact, it's almost a full-on run by Farms, keen to get as far behind Turinturambar's comm as possible, force him off the causeway altogether into the ocean and start laying down damage. Nice rank in veterancy will give him a little bit more breathing room and certainly allow him enough time to get to the safety of the water. Farms looking very much healthier now with that nano upgrade, on his comm, and of course the Zeph amp as well, improving damage output. And now Turinturambar under air assault, forward positions under Janus and Scorcher attack. Few interceptors scrambled for Turinturambar, working on the air-to-ground targets first before switching up and going after the inties. Massive forest clearance. All production paused on the naval side of things for Turinturambar, who tries to keep up with this pressure. I love the conversation that's going on between these two. I'm hoping they're the very best of friends, otherwise this could be pretty nasty. Turinturambar back up to 6k on the comm, but what a seesaw of events on the causeway. Now Farms in control, timely tech upgrade, but I think that assault might have stalled. Time to regroup a little further back. 162 to 171 on the mass, 2.9 to 1.7k on the power, and very little in it in terms of total mass accrued over the course of the game, 88 to 86. Although that mass field now firmly under Farms' control. We just look at him advance, moving up with his commander. And torpedo bombers have locked onto Turinturambar's comm. He's going to have to get out of the water and do it very sharpish indeed. Farms is going to be waiting for him when he ejects from the waves. Well, maybe he doesn't have to rush. He's brought in a whole load of skyboxes which are doing well against the torpedo bombers. Maybe he could turn around. He really doesn't want to be getting caught up in this mess at all. He is still heading that way though. Decision-making time. Things looking very hairy for Turinturambar now. Well, he could potentially make it out now, but would he make it back to his base? It's all a question of timing. That main blob of T2 heading straight towards Turinturambar's front line. T2 P-Gens are vulnerable. A couple of tanks breach inside the shield. Down goes the shield gen, and those P-gens are surely soon to follow. Turinturambar's comm, for the most part, seems relatively safe for now. But this is surely going to set him back. We look at the power side of things. It's now 3.9k for farms, 1.3k for Turinturambar, and he's severely power locked. Needs to get another T2 P-gen online somewhere safe. Somewhere back here would be ideal. Very worried though if I was Turinturambar right now. That comm in a very precarious position. Never know if your opponent's stockpiling torpedo bombers back here with a read on your comm. Get enough of them out. One pass might be all they need. Doesn't look like that's the case though, however. That naval yard we saw at the back for Turinturambar has been upgraded to Tech 2 and is now under assault. Thunderheads rolling into the bay for farms. Mirror matches always making your life difficult as a spectator to work out who's doing what. Turinturambar has T2 power back up, well, he's still not comfortable. How did he put him up is the question. Well, he's rebuilt directly over the top, the old site, getting that mass discount, but certainly not making himself any safer. It's a very dirty looking blob of T2 belonging to farms there. 38 pillars. Scary, scary stuff. T1 P-gen crush incoming. Well, that would be up here. One Janus locking onto that row of T1 P-gens, trying to keep Turinturambar under pressure. He's actually flown over the top of what would have been my priority target. If he hits at this end, he could have taken an awful lot of engineers with him. Says crushed. Well, potentially on the next pass it will be if you follow the right line. Two Inties coming in to try and shoot that puppy down. I was going to say it was a horrible bombing run, but actually it turned out okay. Hasn't helped the situation, but Turinturambar not significantly worse off than he was a moment ago. Still, nice to see farms keeping the pressure up. Another Janus heading up here for presumably a strike on this row of P-gens. Major power assault here from farms in the first 20 minutes. And why not? It really is your vulnerability on this map. There is mass everywhere. Target the power and debilitate your opponent's use of it. Farms now getting a personal shield on his commander, strolling off the edge of the causeway for that one. It's actually, when you've got a couple of competent players, it's a pretty interesting map as far as maps go in the 1v1 format. So this game clearly lagging for them. You can hear the chat in local there, 50 minutes in real time, and we're only 20 minutes gone game time, so connection between these two guys is poor. Hello, what have we got here? Well, that would be 4 Ambassador Strat Bombers sitting at the back for Farm Schlet. That could be very scary indeed. They really do just look like 1960s bombers, aren't they? Some crazy Cold War design. Or at least what things might have looked like if the futurists' artists' rendition from 60s futurists had come to pass. Another Janus rolling in over the top. Was coming in to intercept. Drop a few bombs potentially on some of these units up front, going straight after the skyboxes, which are pretty resistant actually to that Janus fire. Definitely not a great tool to go after those with, but look out, those ambassadors are on the move. Heading up towards that pile of units that's incoming now, towards Farms' front line. Farms might be about to lose that factory, won't worry too much about that. Heading up here, and looks like they're actually coming in for an attack on the ground forces. Farms spreading them beautifully and dropping all over the place. Oh my god! Nerdgasm! Well, you've got to hand it to Farms and an instant retreat. Look, it's like he's surgically taken out all of the Tech 2 units. There's just T1 left up front, one or two groups of T1 further back, but oh, that was amazing. Beautiful play there from fTjlARsEmE. Turinturambar forced to withdraw. Continued pressure from Farms being applied in the air. And you see it's T1 air versus T3. Turinturambar with a lot of interceptors, to be fair. 70 fueled, 2 unfueled. Another bombing run on these forces. Oh my god! Oh! Oh no! And you can clearly tell Farms is enjoying this game just by looking at some of the the conversation. But that is just a stupendously successful use of T3 strap bombers there applied. Usually you only see them sniping high value targets, buildings and what have you, but when you have air superiority like that and you can split them that effectively, I'm amazed. I mean, it might be partly due to lag that he was able to issue so many different orders so efficiently, but here they come on the power grid. No more P-gens for you, Farms said. Not so efficient on the pass there, but he takes out 1 or 2. There is a T3 P-gen queued up for Turinturambar further back, but he certainly doesn't want to lose all of his T2 reactors once again. I don't think he's going to have much to say about it. There goes 2. And a 3rd. Oh, this is not good for Turinturambar. Turinturambar says I should get RAS. Yeah, well, that would help. Certainly would help. Goodness me. How very entertaining. You think, like, what that has done. So a large significant land force essentially extinguished here belonging to Turinturambar, and now his base just peppered on the front line, and he's completely power locked once again. He's trying to get another T2 P-gen up here, then he's trying to work on another T2, but there's very little to stop Farms doing exactly the same thing again. You've got another ambassador up here, still producing them. That's exactly what he's thinking. Still more Janus harassment going on around the place. Turinturambar happy that he's shot down one of those at least. But look at the scores now, or at least the eco, sorry. 315 to 272. 245 total mass versus 212. 12k power for Farms versus 2.9. And Turinturambar a long way from achieving balance anytime soon. Well, actually, I say that he's about to get a T3 PGen online, but will even that cope with his power needs? There it goes. Well, once he stops producing the building, it certainly will. Immediately starts work on another, but there's more strats lurking, picking off units in the front line. And now Percival's reached the front line for fTjlARsEmE. It's looking very deadly indeed right now. Inti's flying into the fray. No doubt trying to pick off a strat bomber or two, but not lasting too long with all the ASFs lurking. Yeah, unit cap indeed. So normally, of course, if you were in an actual game of Settons and it was just you as the last man standing, you would inherit the unit cap of your teammates, but not in a 1v1, not in a ladder match. And now we've got some decent anti-air coverage in the base. Turinturambar not getting caught out again there. 3 flayers would be lurking under shield coverage if he could get his power situation sorted out. But the next threat could come on the land anyway. Very little going on in the oceans. Epic push incoming, says Farms. Oh, a bit of a PD creep, perhaps. Ravager creep. Farm's so supremely confident in where he's headed here. He's just announcing his tactics before he implements them. I don't think I've ever been that confident in a multiplayer game at anything. Of how far that will reach, and the front line is actually in range, but we do have some clink hammers online as well. A couple of strat bombers hitting the shield. Ravagers prioritizing those artillery emplacements first. Down goes the shield gen. T1, T2, T3 forces for both teams all marching forward. Maybe I spoke too soon about the T3 Turinturambar. Well, he does have a demolisher further back here. That forward P-gen. Gunfire whistling overhead. No one prioritizing that. Everyone going after the weaponry right now. There it goes. Percival strolling into range. T1 bombers coming in and a line there from Turinturambar. He's just throwing everything he's got at Farms, trying to keep him at bay. Farms says, what is going on with your energy? And it's just fine, thank you very much. Probably building elsewhere. Still got those 2 T3s further back. And Turinturambar actually advancing now. Going for overcharges on those upfront Percies. Resisting those T1 bombers quite comfortably. The clink hammers are down, bar one very badly damaged one. shield gen going up, protecting Farms' position. Ravager creep operating pretty successfully right now. Turinturambar eating a load of Ravager fire from 2 T3 PDs. When that shield's gone, that 18,200 hit points on the base health won't last very long at all. Turinturambar playing very fast and loose here. Oh, it's so much gunfire. Projectile spray raining down on Turinturambar's front line. Turinturambar's trying to counter with Ravagers of his own. Doesn't have T3 engineering suite on board his comm like Farms does. Has to rely on engineers. A little bit more clunky, a little bit slower. Take longer to build, execute orders. Farms not concentrating fire. I'd probably be wanting to take out this position myself. Sort of dividing it between this position and eating into units further up. Shield goes down. There goes a Ravager. Demolisher fire raining down on Farms' position. Naval vessels clashing over here, and actually Turinturambar has an advantage just, I think. No, he doesn't. What am I talking about? Look for a moment like he had a tech advantage, but he certainly doesn't. And Farms doing his best to keep up with the incoming pressures. A lot of T1 rolling in now from Turinturambar, who's just throwing Lobos at the problem, and to his credit, it's depleting the shields and allowing those Ravagers to lay their fire down on Farms' T3 emplacements. Strat still peppering that forward position. Oh my word. So much carnage. Torpedo bombers being brought in to help finish off this fleet in the top pond. And Farms has lost this position. How very surprising. Due in part, I'm sure, to the 3 or 4 demolishers we've got up here. Actually, it didn't look like there was a lot left. Got 3 or 4 Ravagers. A lot of them aren't firing, so this is at max range. Farms dropping back and starts a major Clink Hammer battery, which will allow him to lay fire down on Turinturambar's forward base and the fleet if it stays there. Well, it actually doesn't. It's already evac'd and it's being pushed way back thanks to Farms' fleet and, of course, the torpedo bombers that he's assaulting them with. And now that one naval yard potentially under pressure. We've got one over here as well, and that's just a regular one, so we'll lose access to T2 production in the bottom pond if he loses the HQ. That could be on the cards very soon indeed. Farms not wasting time by giving them some T1 P-gens. Bit of a shame. Dramatically increases their firing efficiency, but you can't blame them at this stage. There's so much going on. Naval yard about to go down. Engineers present doing their best to repair it as it's being destroyed, but they cannot contend with firepower of that magnitude. Down it goes. Engineers promptly get eviscerated. that hands naval superiority in the top pond, or complete naval dominance, I should say, right over to farms. Start pumping out cruisers up here and happily sit them off the coast. Meanwhile, it's a little more even in the bottom pond. Crucial for Turinturambar to win that if he's going to stay in this. He's already pretty much 100 mass behind Patik now. He's 60 mass down, total mass accrued, and he's 10k power down, and still in danger of being power locked. He's got some storage there, but operating at a net deficit, it would seem, for the time being. Turinturambar very far forward with his comm indeed, battling against this forward base of farms. Farms desperate to hold on to these clink hammers which he has thrown together. Kill ratio, kill to loss ratio much better for Turinturambar. 1.62 to 0.72 farms. But often the way when you've been in full defensive mode and behind on eco. A lot of demolishers stacking up back here now. Raining fire down on Farms' front line. Farms trying to keep up with as many T2 P-gens as he can. Trying to keep that demolisher fire out and keep his T2 static emplacements online, but the shields are struggling. There's so much T3 mobile artillery fire coming in. Oh no! And there's missile fire coming in from the governors down here, of which there are many. In fact, that's probably what is causing the most amount of damage. Farm's position now surely untenable. Very solid work. Oh, would you look at that. Farms not content to win like a man has built a Novax. How very, very lame, and he's building another one. So mass Novax potentially on the cards for Farms. But hey, it's effective. All of this is pretty unshielded. You think of all of the mexes up here, which you can start to whittle down now. It's a solid choice on a map like this for UEF. And now just 4.7k power output for Turinturambar. He's in a dire situation. Well below 50% of the mass output of FAF. That is completely unsustainable. New power grid going up in a much safer position. Sensible, if not long overdue decision by Turinturambar. Lots of governors under here, lots of anti-aircraft firepower, not a particularly cost-effective way to deal with a naval problem. The mass torpedo bomber spam, but when you're ahead of your opponent so significantly, it can still be effective. Cruisers, the undeniable focus of the torpedo bomber attack, and if nothing else, it's forcing Turinturambar to move off away from the causeway coastline and buying the land-based forces a little bit more breathing room. In fact, there's a lot of Percivals up front there for Farms. 31 Percivals on this section of the causeway alone. How do you have energy, says Farms. I've taken out your T3 P-gens down here. Well, you're going to have to look elsewhere, my friend. There's a pretty healthy looking power grid under construction at the back here. That's so abusive. I'd say this is not completely representative, guys, of the the sort of language that you get FAF. I'd say it's partially representative. Turinturambar, I have para. Interesting. It's apparently a UEF with Aeon Expeditionary Force built into it. You see that Novak's now going hunting for the P-Gen culprits. Looks like he's beelining for the Hydro. Well, I don't think that's sustaining Turinturambar by itself, but every little helps. It has literally gone straight for that Hydro. Charging up its beam. Wait, I might not even kill it in one. Can't even kill a Hydro in one shot. Who cares? It's not about the overwhelming power, it's about the impunity of the thing. Scout planes at the back of the map there for farms have spotted the problem. Question is, can he get anything up there to kill them off before they get nicely defended? And I think that's unlikely. Shield gens going up around those T3s now. One exposed one on the, well, two exposed ones on the corner, but it's going to take him longer to chew through that than it will to, well, actually it won't if he doesn't change production immediately. I have faith in Turinturambar that he will recognize the issue. But we have T3 naval vessels on the field now for Turinturambar in the bottom pond. Neptune class skirting the coast, taking out units as they go. Two of them, in fact. And there you go, promptly protected. It's going to take more Novaks than that to break through. But Farms isn't far off getting the next one in the sky. Probably be better off now just going around hoovering up all of the vulnerable T2 and T3 mexes that are about the place. Now the forward position is under threat. Buzzkill's trying to keep up with the Governor missiles, but he needs more of them. Woefully ineffective for such cool looking things, those Buzzkills. Has he switched up? It looks like he's switched up, yeah. Turinturambar trying desperately to protect that nearby T3 mech with a shield gen. Doesn't manage it. It's nothing if not amusing, this game. Probably not if you're Turinturambar, but Farm's certainly having fun with it. I'm hoping it's all in good taste and these guys are good friends. Demolishers being brought out as a last-ditch effort to shoo away some of these vessels over here. Not going to last long against those destroyers on the coastline. In fact, one or two shells successfully fired there. He would be better off with mass clink hammer under shield coverage over here, I think. Might be what it comes down to, but a very large blob of Percivals, which was stationed on the causeway, came off the causeway and traversed the underwater section over here in the top pond to emerge at the beach. and is just kicking the crap out of everything in sight. There goes a T2 intel, but Omni's still up somewhere reasonable, it would seem, for Turinturambar, so he's not lost everything. Lots of spy planes out, keeping a beady eye on what's going on over here. Would you look at the line of shield jets that's going up trying to protect these mexes? Didn't manage to protect that one. Should manage to keep this one safe, although it's down to about 50% of its health. Just an absurd game. And now the fleet down here, although it's caused some problems, is under massive stalk attack. Huge quantities of UEF torpedo bombers, and they've locked on to the Novaks. A couple more of those, and he will deal with one of his problems. The only problem is there's two of those online, the third under construction. Oh man, one of the Neptunes is about to die, and the other won't be long behind it. It might not even kill one of the Novaks. He doesn't. That is just painful for Turinturambar, who's pretty much lost his entire surface fleet in the bottom pond. That defense satellite just hoovering up mexes now. 658 to 377. He has at least overtaken farms in one area, and that's power production, but he's so far behind on mass, and farms is sitting comfortably on current expenditure anyway. What are you to do? And what are you to do against this? That is a horrible number of Percivals working their way towards that rear base, that base which is utterly crucial now for Turinturambar to stay in the game with its potentially vulnerable T3 power plants. Turinturambar trying to counter with a fat boy. I probably would have preferred some point defense mass Ravager production, but the only problem with it is that ruddy Great Hill, which often can be an asset, but in this situation is definitely not. Block any incoming fire from the Ravagers until those Percys emerge over the hilltop in very close proximity to the base. In all credit to Turinturambar, he has thrown that fat boy up very quickly indeed. Whether or not he's going to get to use much of it before those Percys arrive, though, is still a matter of debate. They're very close indeed, those Percivals, reaching the crest of the hill now and in range of the base pretty much. First volleys are away. Fat boy about to complete any second now. You can see he has queued up Ravagers, but those engineers aren't going to get any online now, surely. Well, perhaps I spoke too soon. One or two of them online. Mass T1. PD going up further down. Oh man. Farms is reveling in it. Absolutely reveling in it. Novak's satellites taking out mexes down there. There's more Percivals at the beach. And once again, Turinturambar about to lose every ounce of power that he has. Just brutalized. The final fusion just hanging on by the skin of these shield gens, but there it goes. Boom, baby! And what has that done? Well, Turinturambar's still getting 8.2k power. He's actually still alright. That hasn't crippled him, astonishingly. And in fact, he's yanked his comm. He's coming from the south, and he's use that to help overcharge the Percys, which have all gone, but he's lost so much back here. Massive air production capabilities. There's now a fat boy lurking outside the front of his causeway base. Still lots of governors raining missiles down on that front base. Rogue Novak satellites going after the naval yards now in the bottom pond, having taken out every mechs available down here, bar 2. It's safe to say Turinturambar has looked in better positions in other games. There's no argument there. I think part of the reason why he's not, I was about to say he hasn't been power locked, is because he hasn't got much left to build with anything. And Turinturambar control cases come at 46 minutes, realizing it's all over. 933k total mass for farms. I mean, in a 46-minute game to be 230k ahead total mass, I mean, that's extraordinary. But I mean, of course, look at the mass that they had access to over the course. It's just insane. But what a game, just so random. And it wasn't a comeback. You guys were expecting some outrageous snipe from Turinturambar that either worked or didn't work. Well, you see, this is how I keep you guessing. Sometimes you got to throw in a little bit of a steamrolling. It wasn't a steamrolling. You can't call 46 minutes game a steamrolling, really. But certainly Turinturambar have been on the back foot, I'd say, ever since those devastating plays up front on the causeway with those strap bombers. That was just awesome. Thing of beauty. Congratulations to Farms. That was highly entertaining. And I will work on getting some of that tourney action to you either next week or in the coming weeks, guys. I promise I will work on it. It'll come down to me receiving permission. I could just go ahead, but I'm not a douche, so I'm not going to. All right, until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. Don't forget, you can support me on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Every donation helps me and, by extension, the channel and the community too. So thank you for that. But in the meantime, as I said, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.